Welcome to Look Behind the Look, the celebrated podcast that explores your favorite looks in film, television, and fashion history. Through conversations with the fashion world's elite and award-winning hair, makeup, and costume designers on sets around the world, you will see and hear exciting tales from behind the scenes, career origin stories, and tons of advice and tips. I'm your host, Tiffany Bartok. Hey everybody, welcome to Look Behind the Look. Yes, we are talking about the bear again. Yes, we are talking to Abby Vickers again. Abby is the hair department head for The Bear, and we're talking about season 2 because you can't talk enough about The Bear. We all know episode 6 is in the Television Hall of Fame for eternity, and we're going to deconstruct it a little bit more here and talk about all of the characters that you know and love on The Bear. We're also going to talk about the strike and how you can help. I'm going to put a couple of links in the show notes about how you can contribute to the entertainment community. That's a fund that was formerly called the Actors Fund, and my husband has actually used the Actors Fund in times of need, and the fund has been a huge hero around here in hard times like the pandemic. So now it's another one of those hard times, and Allie and I talk about ways that you can be there for the community while they are out of work during the strike. So listen and enjoy, and I'll see you on the other side.
Don't wipe your hands on your apron, chef.
Chef.
I refer to everybody as chef because it's a sign of respect.
You can throw down, huh?
Behind.
So how you gonna pass the family test? Delicious or impressive?
Delicious is impressive.
Word.
Yo, family's up.
I just never had plátanos with like grass on it.
We want to change this restaurant, right? But we have to change the chemistry.
Hey, why are you always like watching me?
Because it's just sort of my job.
Where the chili flakes? Cousin organizes, it's more confusing. Right there. Labeled chili flakes.
Here I am with Abby Vickers, the head of the hair department at The Bear, your favorite show. We talked with Ignacia Sotomayor. I always do that to her. Ignacia Soto Aguilar.
She can be a judge.
I mean, I don't see why not, personally.
Yeah.
And so here is Allie to talk about hair. But she and I were just talking about how much time, Allie, you have on your hands because of the strike. And like, let's explain to everybody, because I do have people, believe it or not, who listen to the show who aren't hair and makeup and costume designers.
Sure.
And they don't understand that you guys are not on strike. You just are out of work. So can you pretend I'm your aunt at the Christmas party. What, and they're like, oh, are you on strike? Tell me what's happening right now.
Sure.
For the hair and makeup. Yeah.
For hair and makeup. Yeah. So like we're in a different union. We're IATSE members, and IATSE is not on strike right now because we still have an active contract.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like the best with union talk, even though
it
should
all right.
be. I've been in a long time, but so our contract is still, valid, but we don't work. We're not on strike, but we are in solidarity with the WGA and SAG-AFTRA. And a lot of people have been out of work really since November or December because things started slowing down, like in anticipation of this. So, a few of us that have been lucky to work this year, like we did The Bear at the beginning of the year before everything happened. And, but yeah, most all of my friends were pretty much all out of work.
And how can we help support the unions like yours that are, it's not like the pandemic where you can apply for, can you apply for unemployment? No.
So we can apply for
Got
unemployment. But it's not like the pandemic, unemployment, is a wonderful resource, but it's really not like a living wage for particular people living in Los Angeles or New York to survive and pay their rent and mortgage. So it's pretty stressful. There's different funds, like the Entertainment Community Fund, which is like the old Actors Fund. They've been very helpful to IATSE. And our unions, like I'm in local 706, the LA union, and 798, our New York union. And they've been like compiling lists and just, different like programs and, mental health, just anything people could need to kind of get them through this.
I'll put those links in the show notes.
Yeah,
for sure.
No, it's super helpful. Like everybody appreciates everything.
It's really difficult to understand, especially with the waivers and stuff. So I just wanted to touch on it because it's like,
way scarier, I think, than
Yeah.
people realize.
It is really scary. I mean, this is my second writer's strike. I just was getting started in my career in like
Yeah.
07, 08 strike. And that was scary, but I was a lot younger and, you know, I had a lot less going on in my life. I have a mortgage then.
Yeah.
So yeah, now as like a, you know, functioning adult in my 40s, I'm like, oh, this is, you know, it's not fun. It's scary.
Yeah. Okay, well, I will definitely put those links of how to support those in the show notes, and we'll talk about it more on the show. You know, as we get into it, of course, because it's just so difficult for people to understand that you guys aren't at the negotiating table. So if and when the actors and the writers get what they're asking for, hopefully you guys don't necessarily
go back to work.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We don't
and you at no higher a rate, maybe even lower. So it's it's scary. It's scary. But what's not scary is The Bear, the show that you are such a huge part of, because you are head of the hair department, and there's nobody on these streets that doesn't talk about Jeremy's hair and how amazing it is. I want to hear all about how you do it and how you make it look so effortless. And I also want to talk to you first, though. I want to talk to you first about the pressure. I was thinking the whole time that I was watching the second season, like, I'm thinking of you guys coming into something that's already such a huge success, and like the temptation to make it bigger, better, you know, more, and how you guys resisted that. Because what I admire so much about you and Ignacia is that you stayed true to the characters. And sometimes you can see like the difference between the pilot and the second episode, or the season 1 and the season 2, about like, we have more money now. But can you talk about resisting that, and like how did you talk about staying true to these characters?
I mean, I think it was pretty organic. The characters are so, you know, just like rich and beautiful and like amazing. Like, I don't want anything that I'm doing to like take away from that. Like, I never want the hair to be a distraction. Like, all of a sudden, Carmi's got, you know, newscaster hair. I don't, you know, or whatever. I don't like want that. Like, especially when you're like, the writing is just so good. Like, I want what I'm doing to just like, you know, accompany it, not like distract from anything. So I really didn't feel like super tempted to like do anything, you know, crazy this year. We made some like just slight changes because they weren't like cooking in the heat of the kitchen, so he didn't need to be as wet all the time. And
Thank
just
God.
like very subtle, just like super subtle things like that, but really just kind of staying true to like the vibe of the show. Like, it's so good. Everything looks, you know, so cool, and it's like thought about and curated well, and I just like want to add to that, not you know, try to like be doing my own thing with crazy hairdos.
Yes. And Jeremy's, I mean, people were dressing up like him for Halloween last year. And like, tell me tell me about the actual process of doing his hair. What are your favorite products? What is the process? You're like, it's nothing. I know there's a lot of effort that goes into looking like nothing. Yeah.
You know, there is effort that goes into looking like you're effortless. And actually, sometimes it can be harder maintaining that look like on set, rather than if you have like a gentleman or, you know, an actor with like really coiffed hair. It just kind of stays. But like maintaining chaos is like, you know, a thoughtful process.
Yes.
Jeremy, first of all, has great hair, so like there's that.
Phew.
He's got like the best hair, but it's pretty simple formula. It starts with a great haircut. So once you have a shape of a great haircut, and I just maintain that. Like, I cut his hair like every maybe 10 days.
You do the cut?
Oh yeah.
Amazing. Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I cut hair as well. So I guess it sounds like I'm saying I give a great haircut, but it was a great haircut.
I think that you're allowed to say that, especially in this space. You can say that. Yes.
Okay. You know, the shape of the hair, the foundation, super important. But then, you know, mornings, it's just like I get his hair damp. I put a little a scalp serum in it.
Okay.
It's called Esperanza, and it's wonderful. Big fan of that. And then
And what is the scalp?
a little.
What does that do? Like, does it add the texture at the root? The
It adds a
strength?
little texture at the root. It just, I'm all about like keeping hair healthy and just like treating like, just because they're in our chair, like, you want to like maintain the health of their hair and their scalp. And it's like, I really think about that. I want everyone to like leave my chair with healthier hair than they came in with. So it kind of starts with like hair health. So I do a little scalp treatment, and then I use a sea salt spray, Bumble and Bumble, a tiny bit of like grooming paste. I love the men's groomer Days of Dirt, and diffuse, and just kind of diffuse it and scrunch it, and then that's really it.
Nice.
On set, I just take like I keep a little thing of the Days of Dirt, and I touch up where I need to. But like once it's like set, he has such a great wave pattern, it just kind of does its thing.
How long is the process? Do you guys have it down? Or does does he like to relax and kind of milk it a little bit?
It's pretty fast.
Okay.
I take like 8 minutes to do.
Oh my God, amazing. Okay, don't tell anybody that, because then when you ask for more time, they're going to be like, I know it takes 8 minutes.
Yeah, it's like 6 to 8 minutes. It's not like a super long process, but it's, I try to maintain efficiency for everybody. I don't want anyone like hung up in the hair chair too long.
Right. And then tell me about Allie's hair. Well, I guess I do want to talk about episode 6. Absolutely.
Sure.
And the process of picking the hair color for her. So we're talking about Sugar.
Yeah.
And tell me, there had to have been a conversation about changing her hair color. So I wanted to hear about that. It was great. It was such an easy way to take me to some other character stuff going on. Yeah. So let's talk about that process.
That was super fun. Abby also has literally the best head of hair.
And she was pregnant, so it was probably like so lush.
Super lush. It's lush just always. And she's got great texture. But we talked about, what it would look like to, change the hair. And it's kind of a nondescript like throwback in time. It's, like 5-6 years ago ish. But we talked about changing it and like a wig versus coloring it. I really felt like I didn't want a bunch of people sitting around that table like in wigs. It's like so much, like Jamie Lee had her wig on and that was like wonderful, but it's like, it's not, a sketch. This is like a real family dinner. So it was super important to keep it as realistic as possible. So we decided to do it brown, and Abby was so down for it. We colored her hair brown for a week. I had a wonderful colorist, Demi, at Spoken Wheel in Chicago, and I trust her like with my life, so I knew it was going to be okay. And we colored her hair brown on I want to say it was like a Saturday, and it was brown for that whole week. And then the following Saturday, we got her back to blonde to shoot first thing Monday morning, which was wild.
What did that say? Yeah, I'm sure, because it had to go back to exactly the same color. Yeah,
because we were in a direct pickup that Monday.
Okay.
So I felt like I said, I trust Demi, and I was there, and it was just like a really wonderful experience. But it is scary to color somebody's hair brown for 1 week.
Yeah. But it was important to show that she hadn't really. She was hiding. Was that the thing that you wanted to say, or
not really that she's hiding? I mean, I feel like Sugar, plays with her hair. Like she does different things.
Yeah.
That's my personal, Abby
like
and I talked about it. Like Sugar does her hair, she might buy a beach waver. She might try a new color. Like we all do that. I mean, 5-6 years ago, I had blonde hair, just kind of, and it's a great way to show a passage of time and kind of somebody that tries different things with their appearance,
Yes. I like that. And then, of course, we have to talk about Jamie Lee's wig. I talked to Ignacia about it, and she was like, oh my God, Allie was such a rock star with Jamie Lee's hair. And let's just talk about putting a wig on a wild horse and like how did you pick it? I know she's very involved in like all the hair and
She
makeup.
is. Yeah, which is wonderful. She's super collaborative and just very open to things. At the beginning of the season, Chris Storer, the creator of the show, like he had a inspo photo of Monica Vitti, and I just kind of like I saw it and I was like, yeah, that's Donna. You know, like that's it. And I kind of just ran with that. I like to make everybody a little like video capsule, like just like different kind of photos and moments, more of like a mood board kind of set
That's
to
cool.
music.
Oh, cool.
Just to like really like get like a vibe of like the character. So I kind of put that together with like some different color options. And Rob Pickens, who had made that wig, was wonderful to work with. And
does Rob Pickens, is there ever a day that Rob is not making a wig? Like what?
I think Rob Pickens is constantly making a wig.
He's doing
and that's
5
great.
right now as we speak.
Yeah, definitely. He probably is. And he's, wonderful. So obviously I have like immense trust with him. He's done the wigs for like my last 3 projects. So that was great. And yeah, we kind of got the style set, and my key Angela is wonderful. She took care of Jamie on set, and just, it was excellent. Jamie is super easy to work with. She lets us do our job. She's very trusting, which is wonderful. And I think it really turned out beautifully.
Tell me more about these videos that you make. Do you show different ideas that you have? So it's a visual mood board that's moving. That's cool.
It's super fun. Like it's a big part of like character research for me. I find it super helpful, like just kind of getting my head into a place. Sometimes it's not even just like the actual aesthetic of like what I want them to look like. It's like the feeling of it or the mood. Like if I see a picture of like, I used different photos. I had different photos of Monica Vitti. I had some of Elizabeth Taylor in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. Like that was what
that's crazy. I mean, I couldn't stop thinking about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's like, that was when I read that was like what came to my mind. So it was, I kind of, I wanted it to start out really beautiful and then, just kind of let her unravel. And like I said, Angela, like he did like such a great job with her on set, like really letting the wig live. And it's really important, like, to kind of show that, like, coming undone, because Donna is definitely a woman that, like, goes to the salon and she gets her hair done. Like, she's maintaining appearances, like, everything's fine.
Yes.
And, like, we know that woman, or I know that woman,
I mean, I said in the last, I was like, I got in trouble because I was like, we all have an Aunt Donna. And my dad wrote me, who's Aunt Donna?
Yeah. I mean, my grandma was Donna.
Really?
Like, true. I mean, she never drove a car through the house, but like,
no,
there were moments. I like warned my mom. I'm like, Donna's kind of like Nanny, like, well, Nanny, rest in peace. But she was a little bit like that. So it's like everybody knows someone like that in their life, and like, that is definitely a woman that like keeps up appearances.
Yes. I loved how you guys really tracked the disheveling because it was just so believable. And I never for a second wasn't completely invested in this being truthful and like basically a documentary of Christmas at their house.
Yeah. And that's, again, it's like so important for me when you have such wonderful actors and such wonderful writing and everything so compelling and dynamic. Like I put such pressure on myself. Like I want everything to look so, I don't want anything to take anyone out of the moment, like I don't want to do any disservices to like this like beautiful script and like these people like bringing it to life. So that's important to me.
What was it like on set that day?
I mean,
well, not that day.
It was great. Everybody was so wonderful. Everybody was so happy to be there. It was emotional, for sure. And for many different reasons, but it was, to me, like one of the best things I've ever, like, been able to see. It's like, that's like a once in a lifetime experience, like watch all these wonderful actors, like doing this work was really cool.
So everybody's pretty aware that they're making greatness, right? Like,
I mean, I would, yeah, like
is
I
what
would
you
think.
saw in the final showing, is that what you felt? Everything was, you were like,
Even
this is what it was
even
like.
yeah, I mean, even more, it was so good. It's like when I watched it, you know, at home with my husband, it was almost like when I watch shows or movies that I've done and worked on, I'm very like staring at, you know, my work and like remembering what happened that day. But with this, it's like, no,
you're
I just was like
lost.
so in it, like,
Cool.
you know, which is great.
That's amazing. Yeah, to get lost in it and not even know, like, wait, I was there. I was working on that.
Yeah, it's super special experience.
Fantastic. And I mean, of course, this is not the season that's up for the Emmys this year. The
Correct.
first season is the one that we're talking about, right? Because everybody's winning. I mean, remembering the awards, but that was the Golden Globes.
The Golden Globes, Golden Globes, I think, were in like January.
Yes.
And the Emmy cycle that's happening now is all for season 1.
Okay, cool.
So
it's going to be confusing, I feel like, because everybody's going to be like, where's Jamie Lee? You know? So that will be next year that this is going to get nominated. Okay, for sure. We're just going to manifest that because that's happening.
Yeah.
And tell me about too, everybody else's other favorite episode 7. It's so good, so good. Tell me everything about Will coming to set, and like where did you shoot? Was that in Chicago as well?
Will, that was actually episode 4, the Copenhagen episode.
Oh no, Evan's episode.
Evan's episode.
Yes.
Yeah, we shot with Olivia Colman. That was all shot in Chicago. I love that episode so much. And it was
beautiful.
So like, it was so beautiful.
I just got chills.
I like, it's brilliant. I loved it. And I love, you know, Evan's character so much. And just kind of like watching cousin like gain confidence and put a suit on, like, and brush his hair and, you know, working with the chef. Like, it was really cool.
I already feel like I'm going to cry.
Yeah, no,
it was
when he was in the car singing Taylor Swift, that was like, I lost it.
Forget it. The only other scene that's similar to that in my life that I felt the same way was so dumb, but I watch it all the time. It's Jerry Maguire singing Free Fallin'.
Totally.
And it reminded me of that, but it was just like everything came together in that car, and it was so magical. Everything, his whole life began right there, you know? So tell me about working with Olivia and Will Poulter and what that was like.
It was
When did
incredible.
you know that they were going to be in this episode?
I knew that Will was going to, I mean, pretty early on. Jeremy actually had told me about Olivia. That was how I found out. And I was like, what? Which was so exciting. I mean, I freaked out. She was just on set for one day. She's so cool. I maintained, you know, composure while I was doing her hair. But when she left the trailer, I was like, oh my God, the queen. I just like did the queen's hair, and she was incredible. Like, absolutely, like a joy. So sweet, so fun. And like, it was really, really cool, like watching her act. So that was like another once in a lifetime experience.
Yes.
But and Will is like, I cannot say enough good things about him. He's an angel.
Does he have good hair? I feel like it's thick.
Does he? Oh my God. Yes, he has good hair. He has incredible hair. He has the best hair. It is so thick and wavy and just like does whatever you want it to do. And he was so down to like try a new look and kind of do something like no one's ever really seen him with his hair like that before. And I was stoked because we were like on the same page, like right away. Cause I kind of had an idea. I had a photo of Paul Mescal and I was like, oh, like with the sides of his head shaved. I'm like, that'd be cool. And Will had sent me a picture of like an old picture of David Beckham. And I was like, yes, like this is like what I'm thinking, like, but kind of like just like an undercut on the sides. But yeah, everybody like the entire cast and crew was in love with him. He baked us cookies, and they were
heard
delicious.
about this,
Yeah,
and I can't even deal with it. I mean,
cannot. Yeah,
homemade from scratch.
Homemade. Yeah, he like took, being a chef seriously. Like he like was cooking, learning how to cook, and just incredibly professional, but also so fun and just so like a joy to be around. I cannot like say enough good about him. He's really cool.
Yeah.
And his hair is like, and he's great looking. He's tall. He's got beautiful hair. Like, what else could you ask for?
I heard that he begged to be on the show. Did you know that story?
He told me, yeah.
He did. What did he say?
He was just like, I begged. I really wanted to be on the show. And like, he was like, I just thought they were going to like turn me away. But he was wonderful. I was like, I'm sure that everyone's like, he's just so cool.
It's not a bad idea for him to come back. I'm sorry, but I'm
so into it. Like that would make my day.
And it's so interesting what's happening with the show, because I get so scared when something's so great that it's gonna, like get kind of like glittery and like show it. This has remained so gritty and amazing.
Yeah.
I remember when I was talking to you guys about last season, and I was like, I hope you guys don't leave the kitchen. And both of you were like, your faces were like, I'm not gonna say anything. And I was like, shit, I could tell they're gonna leave the kitchen. So I was so nervous, but it worked perfectly. Like
so good.
Do you know, have we heard of a season 3 coming?
I haven't, heard of anything yet.
Okay. Well, it is, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on.
But I would love that. I would be, so lucky to be a part of something like that for 3 seasons.
Yes.
I haven't heard anything yet. But I mean, it's the best show. It's the best show I've ever worked on.
I mean, what makes it the best show for you? Because some people would say like, oh, you are doing everyday hair, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just so exciting because you get to be so involved in the storytelling through your work.
Yeah. I mean, I think like, there is a lot of, people in our industry that is just like, it's so great to like tell a story through the hair, but doing a period show or like a big costume drama, and the hair is like such a thing that sometimes I think like just like everyday straight hair gets overlooked.
Totally.
In a sense, like
totally.
And I love doing it. I love doing, everyday hair, and just like what do people do? What do they wear? Like, what would Sugar do with her hair, at the restaurant opening? Like what, how does her hair slightly change from like when she really commits to working at the restaurant? Like those slight kind of changes, I think, tell like a story. But for me, why it's so great to work on is just like, it's from the top down. Like Chris Storer is absolutely wonderful. All of our producers are excellent. Everybody has such a wonderful attitude, and you really feel like trusted and heard and seen. Like it feels like very collaborative. Like it just feels great to be there. And the cast, they're all wonderful. Like everyone's just so nice and so cool and interesting.
And your team is small. Your team is small.
Team is small. It's 3 of us. Myself, Angela, and Melanie, and then I have a barber that comes in and takes care of the guys like once a week, and or some of the guys, but
for continuity.
For continuity comes like every other week. So it's really just the 3 of us like every day. And because it's a pretty small cast, it's not that, obviously for episode 6 we had extra help, but yeah, it's a small, and we're all the wonderful crew there, and like my team is amazing and I trust them, and so it's just a great experience. And obviously Ignacia is like my bestie, so we get to be together. That's the most fun. She just does.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, she just does such like beautiful makeup and beautiful work. It like, makes you want to like, you want to both be like working to your highest level, like to match, you don't want to like have some ugly hairdo on.
Yeah, you don't get lazy.
Beautiful makeup she's done. No.
Right, you check yourselves. Yes, I was going to ask you about that moment when she saw the lash on the monitor. We talked about it in her episode. And, it was I call it the lash heard around the world. And
Yeah.
it was the one, obviously, that was left on the thing that everybody went and,
Oh,
everybody
yeah.
talks about your dirtbag hair and
Her
Ignacio's
lash.
lonely lash. And, she said she turned to you right away and was like, gave you a look. And I can only
She
imagine
did.
this look. What was it like from your point of view?
Like, it was just kind of like we were, we watched the monitors on our phones or iPads or whatever
Sure.
it is we're using. And then she was sitting across from me. And at the same time, we both like looked up. And like, cause I was like, it was such a tight shot and I was like staring at the wig and I didn't even notice the lash for a second. And then my eyes like, oh, lash. And we just looked at each other. I'm like, it looks great. I was like, what? Yeah, the lady, she's having a meltdown, a come apart. Her lash would come off. When I melt down, my lashes come off. So I thought it looked so cool. But yeah, we just like locked eyes across this like dead silent room.
I can see it so clearly because both of you have huge eyes.
Yeah,
I can just see the whole thing. Oh my gosh. Well, Allie, I'm so happy to talk to you about this stuff. I love talking to you anytime, and talking about the bear is my favorite thing in the world. And you do such amazing work. And I can't wait to see, season 3. Come on, strike. Just get it over with. Let's do this. Let's get rolling. Let's get everybody back to work. And again, I'm ready. Gonna put the links of how to support everybody that's out of work in the show notes. If you haven't seen the bear, yeah, of course. And if nobody's seen this season, I don't know why you're alive. So
you should have already watched it like twice. Come on.
I watched it twice right away, back to back, and I would do it again right now.
It's so good.
Congratulations on all your amazing work. I'll see you next time.
Thank you so much. It was great talking.
Look Behind the Look is a Vinyl Foot production, written by me, your host, Tiffany Bartok, produced by Jace Bartok, edited by Evan Rivard. If you're interested in learning more, find our video version on the YouTube channel, Look Behind the Look Podcast. There you can see rare photos and clips from our guests. And please follow us on Twitter at LookBehindPod and Instagram at LookBehindTheLook. If you like the show, please rate, review, and subscribe. And tell your friends and spread the word. You can subscribe to us on iTunes or any podcatcher of your choice. Thanks for listening to Look Behind the Look.